Hello, everybody. Welcome to tonight's edition of From the Boardroom to the Locker Room. And following on from last night's chat to Russell Domingo, tonight we are joined by the Hollywoodbets Dolphins Chief Executive Officer, Heinrich Strydom, and their captain, Keshav Maharaj. Let's start off by saying good evening to Heinrich. Heinrich, how are you? Thanks again for your time.
Yeah, good evening. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and thanks for inviting us once again.
And for the first time on the program, welcome to Keshav Maharaj. Keshav, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for having me. Really privileged to be here and being able to chat to you guys.
It must be really exciting. We're just a short while away, less than 24 hours away, Heinrich, from the first match in the Cricket South Africa T20 series, which is slightly different to the excitement that we had during the Betway series.
For the Dolphins, it's the pinnacle probably of our competitions for the season. It's something that we've competed well in over the last few seasons, and it's something that we really want to zoom in and see if we cannot bring home the trophy this season.
It would be nice, of course, and it is absolutely brilliant to have the number one ranked ICC One Day International bowler as your captain this year. Keshav, your heart's always been in and around that Dolphins area and the Durban side, and I'm sure a great privilege to lead them this season.
Yeah, I think my heart is a Dolphin if you look inside it. But yeah, very privileged and honored to lead the side. It's a side that's very close to me. The boys are willing to go, and it's a great platform for our cricketers that weren't a part of the SA20 to be involved and sort of market themselves accordingly. But yeah, really excited at the opportunities, and hopefully we can obviously go all the way, but I think just live up to the processes and the brand of cricket that we want to play throughout this comp.
And I think following on from the T20 competition that recently ended, and well done to the Durban Super Giants to get to the final, the crowd participations in that event, you must be really excited and hope that it spills over into, I'll call it the local version, but it's pretty much outside of the odd player from overseas, the same guys playing each other.
Yeah, I think I'll be honest, we were very fortunate to have amazing crowds here in Durban. PE and Durban had the best atmospheres in the country throughout the SA20. So, hopefully the Dolphins public come back in numbers and support our local team. Hopefully the first three games we put in some strong performances that can be a nice draw card as the competition goes on. But yeah, I think it's a brilliant opportunity to go and rectify the mistakes of SA20, playing against various batters and bowlers, and you try to get the better half of them in this part of the campaign. So yeah, fingers crossed everything goes according to plan.
So, Keshav, when you look at the competition that you guys have just played in, and now the players are moving around and back in their domestic squads, you've played against them so often, played with them so often, does it make it easier to compete against them?
Yes and no. I think you understand the batters. I'm speaking from a pure bowling perspective. You understand the batters a little bit better. But having said that, on the flip side, they sort of understand you. But I think that's the beauty of the SA20 and what it's created is you interacting with enemies, I'll call them, and opponents on the field. And then you still get a chance to play against them, once you go back to the domestic format. So it's a good challenge for the skill set, and it helps you think, gives you a different perspective, and, brings out the best in you at times.
And I'm sure there's also one or two players that were in that Durban Supergiants side that you, I presume, would be wishing in the Dolphin side for the tournament.
Yeah, very much so. If I can handpick one, it would probably be Heinrich. But having said that, I think we've got a good bunch of guys in our domestic structures, a few of them having had the experience of SA20, so hopefully they can bring that to the party and replicate the good performances that they've done throughout the season.
Yeah, I would have thought that Heinrich Claassen would have been top of not only your list, but I think everybody's team's list in the entire country, including Russell Domingo, who spoke about him so well last night. Heinrich, let's get back to the Kingsmead Stadium itself, Hollywoodbets Kingsmead. You must be delighted with the size of the crowds that you had, the atmosphere that you had, and that whole vibe that carried on from last year into this year, and I'm sure can only get bigger and better.
Yeah, I think we've had a incredible year of cricket at Hollywoodbets Kingsmead. Started off with those 3 internationals against Australia, which were all basically sold out. We had a sold out game against India, unfortunately, which rained out, but we had 5 well attended SA20 matches. So it's been a fantastic season for us from a stadium point of view. But also, I think going into this final competition, we want to finish the season strong from a hosting point of view, but also on the field. And I think also the one massive thing for us going into this last part of the season is our Hollywoodbets Dolphins ladies as well. They in both the 50 over competition and T20 competition that they're playing in, they are in with a shout, and they're leading the pack at the moment in the 50 over competition. And they're going to play a televised match on the 17th at Hollywoodbets Kingsmead as part of a double header. And Nonkululeko has just joined us, so maybe she can also share with us a bit of feedback and about the excitement from their side.
Yes, let's say hello to Nonkululeko Malaba, plays for the Proteas and, of course, playing for the Dolphins ladies team. Nonkululeko, thank you so much, and welcome to the program.
Hello, thank you.
Nice to have a rose amongst all the thorns that are being chatted about here on the program. Nice to have a female touch. First of all, how things been going? And obviously back with a tour of Australia with the Proteas. And from your own point of view, are you happy with the way the season's gone?
Yeah, so far I'm happy, especially like joining the team again. I always love playing with the team. And yeah, obviously coming from Australia to also be part of the team here, it's kind of draining at times, because sometimes as a player and as a human being, you sometimes just need like to rest. But now it's all about work, no time to rest until the season is over. So yeah, for now we're just pushing for this trophy. We're gonna try our best to win it and bring it home.
Yeah, let's just talk about Australia briefly, if we may. One or two really, really good results for you ladies. The test match, maybe not such a great performance. But overall, going out and winning a game in Australia, there's not very many teams in the world, men or women's, that can go along and win matches in Australia. Did you find it really, really tough? And have you brought back a lot of good learnings from the tour?
Obviously playing against one of the best team in the world, it's tough. It's not easy. And for us going there, in their home country and win few games with them, that's a big thing for us, because we've never won any games against Australia. So I think for now we're just celebrating that win. And yeah, obviously in the future we're looking to win the series against them at home as well.
Keshav, from a men's Proteas point of view, I'm sure it must be great for you guys to see how well the ladies are doing and bringing the game to the fore worldwide after the success of the tournament last year in South Africa and their success in Australia.
Yeah, very much so. I think they've made us really proud in the last 4 to 5 years. Obviously, going to a World Cup final, that was huge. And I think we're bridging that gap between us, and there's a lot more interaction. Hopefully it can grow into something bigger, but they've done us really proud and continue to do us really proud with each and every series that they play in. And it's so nice to see, apart from the team's accolades that they've received, there's obviously the personal accolades that they get. Also being in the top 10 in the various formats is a huge thing for any cricketer, but to see our own ladies going up there among some of the best in the world is a really proud moment for us as guys on the other end of the stick.
And it must be really exciting. I mean, Heinrich's already touched on it, that there's going to be a precursor to the main game where the ladies are going to play a match as well.
Yeah, very much so. I think that's exciting, and I think it's a long overdue that the ladies get an opportunity to obviously play on basically TV. I know a lot of the youngsters haven't been exposed to that, but it's a really brilliant opportunity for them to get a taste of what it's like to become a professional sportswoman or a sportsman and play in front of crowds. So I think it's brilliant for them. Hopefully it can spur them on to go and win the trophy and obviously bring it home. But I think for them, it's the opportunity that they must embrace and use it to the best of their abilities.
So you've made 2 finals in the last 3 seasons with the Dolphins in the T20 Challenge. John Smith and Nonkululeko, yourself, Jason Smith. And then, if I may, bring to the fore somebody who really did perform at exceptionally good standard, Otniel Bartman, in the Betway T20 tournament, into the squad. You've got a pretty formidable outfit.
Yeah, we've got a very well-balanced and strong unit this year. The problem is that we've got a headache because we can only field 11 at a time. But I think we have a really brilliant squad. But, cricket's not played on paper. It's about making sure that we're turning up on the day and sticking true to our processes. The boys have put in some really hard yard over the last week and a half. So, they're raring to go. And hopefully that practice comes to fruition, in the up and coming, I think it's 14 league fixtures. So, hopefully we can try and be at the top of the table to give ourselves the best opportunity to go on and win this competition. But it's the process behind everything, and we've got to stay true to that and turn up for every game and win every ball.
And as a veteran of the game now, you've been around a long time, watching somebody like Tristan Loose coming up from the under-19s, that must really warm the cockles of your heart to see young players coming up to take over from guys like yourself who might in the next 4 or 5 or 6 years be giving the reins over to the youngsters.
I wouldn't call myself a veteran yet. Yeah, no, but on a serious note, I think it's really pleasing to see, young guys coming in. I think Tristan had an amazing World Cup, and he's been rewarded for his hard work. I've seen the way he's trained. He's something special and X factor about him. And, hopefully in this comp, he does get the opportunity to showcase his skills at a higher level. He's a brilliant guy. Getting to know him each and every day. Brilliant kid, wants to learn, good sense of humor, funny. He's settled in well in the dressing room. But I think from his perspective, I know what it was like being a youngster and being welcomed in the change room and what it can do for your cricket. So hopefully he uses the opportunities when it does come, and, the sky is the limit for him and his skill, and he keeps growing within the Dolphins environment. And hopefully in the next 10 years' time, he can be sitting in a position where he's leading our bowling attack.
Yeah, I used the word veteran, and I didn't mean it in terms of your age. I'm talking about in terms of 100. No. I mean, I think it's important. It's important that I mentioned a couple of statistics here. I mean, 50 test matches, 44 one-day internationals, 27 T20 internationals, 156 first-class matches, 141 List A matches, 157 T20 matches. I mean, that's a veteran. Come on.
That is a veteran.
Thank you, Heinrich. Thank you. Full of experience here.
Over 35 next year.
I think he'd probably prefer it if we call him a pro rather than a veteran.
I'll even add something to that. He's 34 years and 29 days old today. How's that for having my stats in front of me? And I'm not a stats guy. Heinrich, back to the tournament itself and what the fans can expect and where they can get tickets to get in to see the guys tomorrow evening.
Yeah, so we've got quite a few activations from all our various partners, which we're quite excited about. There's a big thing that we're going to do this T20 challenge. We actually have if you take a catch, and we said any catch, it doesn't have to be one-handed, or it just must be a proper catch. Then you qualify to win a car and 100,000 rand. So what we're going to do every game, people that take catches, we're going to invite them to our final league match at home, and then they will all participate in activity where they then can win that car and 100,000 rand. So that's quite an exciting one. And then just general activations from all our partners. Hollywoodbets have come on board with quite a few nice initiatives. Alliance, SAB. So we've got so many loyal partners. They've all just put up their hands, and we're going to do some nice spot prizes. Yeah, and hopefully the entertainment, the food, the drinks, everything. The food will be warm and the drinks will be cold. So it's going to be a good experience.
And you hope the weather's going to hold out. I mean, Kingsmead is notorious for having a few drops of rain when there's a cricket game on.
Yeah, if I think about it this season again, it's a big perception in my opinion, because I've also now spent a bit of time here. And if I look at the past year, 3 out of 4 internationals that had no interference. We had a full CSA T20 competition where we finished all the games. Actually, the irony is in our 50-hour competition, when we traveled away from home, we actually rained out. So hopefully that can stay the same for this competition. The weather looks good for this weekend at least. So hopefully we can get off to a good start, a good experience, good vibe at home, and then as we hit the road, we've got some points in the bag, but also something the team returns again to just welcome them with a good vibe again. So very excited about this weekend and obviously the next few games. It's quite a busy schedule.
Let's bring Nonkululeko back in. When you look at the way the men's game is progressing and you see all of these big tournaments, it must be really exciting that the women's game, I wouldn't say is catching up, but is not losing ground to the men's game.
Yeah, I think obviously they're still working on that, especially for us having our SA20. I don't know in what year, but apparently it's coming. I don't know if it's soon, but apparently they said it's sooner. And obviously, as the girls, we can't wait for that one, because I just feel like most of the girls have talent here and they don't get opportunities to play for outside leagues. So it would be nice to have our own league and also like grow our players as well.
And when we look at the ladies' Proteas side, I mean, you lost a couple of players after last year and going into this year, and a bit of experience was lost. But it seems as though the momentum has picked up very nicely, and the replacements that have come in are going to be world-class cricketers going forward.
Yeah, we have a very young squad. And yeah, I feel like everyone is very talented. And I think even though we lost like one of the big players in the team, but I still feel like the ones that are coming in or the one that's replaced them, they have like more talent. I'm not gonna like say other way, but I just feel like they've been working hard and yeah, they're still growing. They're still young and they're learning from the others, Wolfie and them. We still have Kapi and we still like learning from them as well. But I feel like the girls have a lot of talent.
Okay, Keshav, let's talk more about tomorrow night. You're up against Western Province, a really good T20 side as well, who've got some good form players, having just come off the 5-day series as well, or the 4-day series that was played over 5 days, and what was a wonderful, wonderful game of cricket. They're always formidable opponents, aren't they?
Yeah, very much so. They've done really well this past season. Obviously, winning the One-Day Cup and then putting themselves in a position to compete in that final. But yeah, they're a strong side. They've got some formidable guys that have a lot of T20 experience and have been involved quite a large part of the SA20. But yeah, we're excited. We always have good battles against the Cobras here, our Western Province here in Durban. So looking forward to that opportunity tomorrow.
How different is it going out onto the field playing in a T20 game domestically as opposed to when you play for a franchise? Do you think differently or not?
Definitely not. I think I respect the game of cricket. So any game of cricket for me, I take it seriously as if I was playing for my country or not. I love the Dolphins and, you know, they've been very good to me in the last 17 years. Sorry to give my age away. But yeah, I take every game seriously and I don't think differently. I still have the same buzz, energy and hype. And the day that goes away for me is the day that I've got to walk away from cricket. So I love it. I still go out with the same energy, same passion, same enthusiasm, same desire to want to do well and take the team over the line. So nothing changes for me from a mindset point of view.
So from a mindset point of view, nothing's changed. But over the last 17 years from when you made your debut to captaining teams like you are now, what's the fundamental difference that you can tell youngsters about? Because with respect, there are some youngsters at 17 and 18 years old who are playing in teams that weren't born when you started playing.
Yeah, look, I think it's just about respecting it. I probably have a little bit more passion now than I did back in the day, which is kind of weird because it's, as people say, when you get older, it sort of fizzles out, but I feel more passionate. I think my injury has a large part to play with it because I'm just grateful to be on the field playing cricket again. So that highlights that passion even more and that desire to want to do well. But I think for youngsters is never take the game of cricket for granted, whether you're playing club cricket or any form of cricket that's competitive. I think the day you stop respecting the game, mother cricket can level you very quickly. So, you know, respect the game, respect what it's for, respect your opposition, and just respect the opportunity you've been given because there's a lot more people that might work twice as hard and not get the opportunities that you will. So just don't take that for granted.
So you've got two games. Friday evening, you're up against Western Province. And then on Sunday at 2:00, a game against the Warriors. Any different strategy you might be looking at, or will you see how Friday goes before you decide what you guys are going to do on Sunday?
Yeah, we'll have to see how the opposition teams lines up and then make adjustments accordingly. But yeah, I think it's just about focusing on the processes and what we're trying to do. Execution's a big thing for me when leading a side and just being clear with regards to the plans. And the main thing for me is the energy on the field. If I see energy from my team, I know I'll get the better side of them. So hopefully I can instill those values as the competition goes on. And that's more than enough to take us the whole way in this comp.
Heinrich, you've built up not only a formidable team underneath you, as well as an actual team that performs on the field. It's been a great change at Hollywoodbets Kingsmead since you've taken over. What do you attribute, besides your ability, to that too?
I think for me, it's to get the basics right. I think for me, in anything you do, I think it goes about how strong your foundation is. And if I think, like Keshav said, if you respect the game will respect you. But if you ever take anything for granted and you don't appreciate those things, it will come back to bite you. So for me, it's been all about getting the basics in place, building that strong foundation. We've got good governance structures in place, and we've got good financial and administration processes in place. I think if all of those basics are in place, then you get the opportunity to build on it, and then you can flourish. And I think that's probably what we've done over this period, where from a team point of view, men, women, we got the basics in place, and it's something now we can flourish because of those things. So yeah, I think I'm a big believer in controlling the controllables as well. And I think that's probably the first lesson you learn as a cricketer is control the controllables. So if you pitch up for a game and it rains, you can't do anything about the rain, but you can manage your attitude, you can manage your preparation, and all those type of things. So for me, it's just been one of those things where zoom in on the basics, and the rest will probably follow.
Last time we spoke, we chatted briefly about post-COVID. I guess that's now completely forgotten about. It's not forgotten in terms of it happened, but you're pretty much back to where you were pre-COVID?
Yeah, I think for us, we're probably even in a better space. I think it's been one fortunate thing was throughout COVID, a lot of our partners stuck with us through that period, and they basically helped us through that period. So Hollywoodbets, Alliance, all our different partners just continue to support us, and we basically, as soon as COVID was done, we could then start again. We didn't have to wait to almost recover and get back to that same level, because we managed to maintain it. So yeah, I think we, specifically from a stadium point of view, I think we've managed to do a lot of upgrades and maintenance and changes again over the last year even. So it puts us in a good space where we, again, the basics are in place, but now there's room for a few nice to haves.
And you must be very happy, because we're in a economic downturn in South Africa, yet you've still got a fantastic group of sponsors who've backed you guys financially, as well as with all the other means that they possibly can, to continue having a union that is so strong and is able to put matches on like we're going to see tomorrow night and have seen in the last year or so.
Yeah, we've been very fortunate, most definitely, with the partners that we've got on board. Yeah, like you said, it's not just the financial assistance that they bring, but also, I mean, they're so passionate about the game of cricket as well. They bring a lot of extra activations and all kinds of things, which is not even part of the contract. So for us, it's more of a partnership than a sponsorship, and it's certainly, they all follow the game very closely. On a random day, you'll find Eben Heffer from Hollywoodbets. He'll be sitting somewhere on the grass and watching the guys practice. So that's just the passion of some of our partners, and it's certainly, we want to do well for them as well, and we want to show them our appreciation by putting in those performances. So yeah, it's been a brilliant journey, and yeah, it's been lovely partnerships and having them on board.
And Keshav, I'm sure as captain of the side, you've also got some kind words for the sponsors, because they obviously make it happen for somebody like yourself and the players.
Yeah, very much so. I think we're very grateful to everyone who contributes in some capacity. You know, we have not just a relationship where we see the face, we actually interact with them. We get messages from them of encouragement and support. So yeah, we're very grateful here as players and as a union for all their contributions and just their inputs. They're quite motivating guys, and I think they have the best interests of cricket at stake, which helps us as players. So we're very grateful and privileged to be associated with such amazing people.
Nonkululeko, before we go, when are we going to expect to see you back in action again? When is the team playing again so we can watch you guys, both Proteas and Dolphins?
Yeah, Proteas, we have a Sri Lanka tour. They're coming to us. We're starting I think our first game is on the 25th of March. And then the provincial, we're playing next weekend here at home against SWT. So it's both T20 and ODI. Yeah.
Yeah, and the Sunday match is a televised T20.
Oh, yeah.
And then also, I mean, I also noticed that the Division 1 and 2 matches are going to be televised. Obviously, Division 1 matches live and the Division 2 matches on a streaming platform. I mean, that's also huge for the game, isn't it, Keshav?
Yeah, very much so. I think, it's a nice sort of platform for them to be noticed as well by other franchises or by other teams. So brilliant opportunity, and hopefully it can grow to a stage where all domestic cricket in South Africa is televised in some capacity. So brilliant opportunity for the Division 2 guys to get the recognition that, for all the hard works and efforts that they've been putting throughout the season. So yeah, it's nice to see good exposure for them, and hopefully they'll enjoy it and it will spur them on to put in some really massive performances.
Absolutely. Nonkululeko Malaba from the Proteas and the Dolphins ladies team. Keshav Maharaj, the captain of the men's Dolphins team and obviously plays for the Proteas, and Heinrich Strydom, the CEO of the Hollywoodbets Dolphins. Thank you guys so much for your time on tonight's From the Boardroom to the Locker Room. All the best. Although I have to say you are playing my team tomorrow evening. So, you know what? Play the game the best way you possibly can and may the best team win, I think is the nicest way I can end this program. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate this time.
Thank you so much.
That is tonight's edition of From the Boardroom to the Locker Room. As always, be nice to each other. Until next time, bye for now.